One of the models that we're asked to recap, and certainly one of the popular ones that we use, particularly useful in a coaching situation. So whether you're actually a coach with that kind of relationship, or whether you're a manager coaching people with new skills, a pictorial representation that works really well. I've chosen the colours that I have. We thought it was quite representative of the fact that most of the time people operate in the circle in the centre, which we would call the comfort zone. So most of our time is spent in the workplace, in the comfort zone, because we have the skills, we have the knowledge, we have the experience, we have the support, we have the resources that we need in order to be able to function. And that's great if we're going to be in an organisation that's not moving forward and is just going to maintain the status quo, but that's not the way the world is now. Because all of us, teams are shrinking, budgets are shrinking, all of us are being expected to do a bit more, we might need to be a bit more multi-skilled. We need to get maximum out of the people that we're coaching, the people who we're managing. We need them to operate sometimes outside that comfort zone. We need to introduce new skills. That's not just because of the needs of the organisation, but actually individuals like to be stretched so that they feel fulfilled, valued, and have the opportunity for development. So our role then as the coach, as the manager, is to acknowledge that people are in a comfort zone and that we want to introduce a new skill and that we want to take them out here. This sort of amber or orange type circle is known as the stretch zone. We want to stretch people in terms of their development, and we want to stretch them in terms of what they're able to do for us, how they're able to operate within the team, new skills. So if we're saying that the comfort zone, we've got all of the skills that we need, we've got the experience to do it, which is why we could do it almost second nature. Our role is to very gently persuade people out into the stretch zone. One of the examples we quite often use would be a first aid example. If you were to ask me to open somebody has a headache and you want me to open a packet of paracetamol, give them a paracetamol and a glass of water, I could probably cope with that. In terms of my first aid knowledge though, if you want me to tie a head bandage, it's been a while since I tied a head bandage or made a sling, it would take me a little bit longer, I would be stretched. I would probably want to read a book in order to understand how to do it. So our role as the coach or as the manager is to put the things in place to help the person create that head bandage, if you like. Do they need to go on a course? Do they need to talk through with you for advice? Do they need to talk to another member of staff that's particularly good at it? Do we need to give them controlled circumstances to have a go at the new skill and then allow them to pop back in again so they come back into their comfort zone? So if the next time we're going to try and help somebody to perform the Heimlich manoeuvre, for example, we're going to maybe read a book, they might go on a course, we're going to demonstrate, and then in a controlled way let them have a go, stretch their knowledge and allow them to come back in again. Sometimes what happens is that what seems like a fairly straightforward new task or a new process to us isn't to the other individual, and if we don't put that support in, what we're doing is jettisoning the individual straight from the comfort zone into this bit around the outside, which is what we call panic. If we don't coach it, if we don't explain it, if we don't provide the support in a controlled way, people go out into panic. If we make a relation back to the adult learning cycle, that's when you get total disorientation and people who shut down and don't want to play. They don't want to learn anymore, they don't enjoy learning because it was a very painful experience. They were set out there, almost set up to fail because we didn't provide the support. So this, very controlled, popping out to the stretch zone, come back in, pop back out again, pop back in, a really good model in terms of how we stretch people and their personal development.